In last class, we have seen RSA digital signature and problem of signing long messages with basic RSA digital signature without hash function. Today we will see hash functions. Hash function is an algorithm that maps the data of arbitrary size to a fixed size hash, also called as message digest. Means this hash algorithm will take any length message and produce fixed length output. See here, if you give this string input to this hash algorithm, it will produce fixed length output. Here all the messages are of different size, but size of the hash code is same for all, and this hash code will be different for different input. In order to provide good security, hash functions has to follow following properties. 1. Its hash function should be strong one-way function. Means it should be computationally hard to reverse hash function. In other way, we can say by knowing message M, it is easy to compute hash of that message, but knowing this hash of the message, it is impossible to compute M. We can do it by using brute force, but computationally it is time consuming. Second one, collision free. Given a message M and its hash h of M, it should be hard to find different input with same hash. Means finding another message M1 so that h of M1 equal to h of M. And the third one, collision resistance. It should be hard to find two different inputs of any length that produce same hash value. Means finding message M1 and M2 such that h of M1 equal to h of M2. It is hard. Let's see how these hash functions will be constructed. Hash functions can be constructed in two ways: by using block ciphers. Block ciphers such as AES can be used to construct hash function. It might be useful when an embedded system needs to implement both encryption and hashing with minimal code or hardware area. Using block cipher to build hash function usually slower than specially designed hash functions because block cipher need key scheduling for each block of the message. Second one, Merkle Damgård construction. It is most widely used one, including MD5, SHA1 and SHA2 uses this construction. The Merkle Damgård hash function first applies padding to create an input whose size is multiples of fixed number. Examples 512 or 1024. Because compression functions cannot handle input of arbitrary size. The hash function then breaks the result into blocks of fixed size and process them one at a time with compression function. Here we have long message, and this message will be divided into smaller blocks. At the end, you may not have full length block. To make it fixed size, let's say 512 bits, you need to add some padding. Initially, algorithm will take IV and combine it with the first block of the message. After that, each time combining a block of input with output of the previous round. Block of message and previous round output. In order to make construction secure, Merkle and Damgård proposed that messages to be padded with padding that encodes the length of the original message. This is called length padding. Here, f is the one-way compression function. To make hash function more secure, the last result is fed through finalization function. After this finalization function, we will get hash of the message. You can imagine this like this diagram. This is our longer message that can be divided into x1, x2 up to xn. Then you need to apply padding. This compression function will take this first block as input and another input initial vector, and it will produce fixed length output, let's say 160 bit. For the encryption of for second block, it will use this output as a initial vector. It will continue like that. Final hash value is the hash of that message. After this x of n, we will consider that output as hash of the message h of x. Secure hash algorithm SHA1. SHA1 was developed as a part of US government's capstone project. It was first published in 1993 by US Government Standards Agency (NIST). Before getting into details, let us see high-level view of SHA1. It uses Merkle-Damgård construction like MD2, MD4 and MD5. It takes message with maximum length 2 power 64. It generates a hash value of 160 bit as output. It is 128 bit in MD5. As it is using Merkle-Damgård construction, before the hash computation, the algorithm has to process the message, means it will create input whose size is multiple of 512 bit chunks. This entire message is divided into 512 bit blocks. Last block will be appended with padding to make it 512 bits. Output length of this SHA1 will be 160 bits. IV also 160 bit. This compression function consists of 80 rounds. 80 rounds are divided into 4 stages of 20 rounds each. It is somehow similar to block cipher algorithm. Let's take DES algorithm. In DES we have 16 rounds and key scheduling. This is the key scheduling. In SHA1, 80 rounds are there. In this stage, 20 rounds, 20, 20 and 20. Total 80 rounds are there and message schedule. In DES, message fed to round function, but in SHA algorithm, message is fed to message schedule. In DES, we take the original key and derive subkeys for each round. K1 for first round, K2 for second round, like that. Here we take original message and derive words W0 to W79. These words will be fed to round function. After 80 rounds, finalization function will be applied. Take the initial buffer register values, add that to final output from 80 rounds. This is the final hash of the message. It is 160 bits. Let's see in detail what will happen in padding, message schedule and round function. Padding. Message has to be padded to fit size of multiples of 512 bits. First, we need to append 1 to the original message. Let's say message here is X. Second, zeros are appended to message such that length of the message equal to k into 512 minus 64. Third, at the end, append the length of the message written as 64-bit number. To make it clear, let's take one example. Assume our message is this one. Call it as X. First step, we need to append 1. This is our message, so here we are appending 1. Second step, now length of the message is 41. So we have to append 4070 zeros to message X such that length will be 512 minus 64. Then the length of X will be 448. 41 plus 407, it is 448, which is in this form. We have completed 2 steps and we need to perform third step. Hexadecimal representation of X is this one. Let's see here, this is 6 and this is 1. Here it is 6 and it is 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6 and this one is 5 and we have 1 extra. This is the hexadecimal representation for X. After that one we will add 407 zeros. That one, this can be write as 8, this 8 and then third step, the length of the original message X is 40 written as 64-bit number, then it will be this value. Then we need to append this third step value to previous result. Then the final X is this one. Before applying compression function, we need to divide the message into 512-bit blocks x1, x2 up to xn. Each block subdivided into 16 words of size 32-bit each. For example, ith block of the message X is split into xi superscript 0, xi superscript 1 like that, xi superscript 15, each of size 32 bits. This is the X. Like this we have to divide them into 16 blocks indexed from 0 to 15, each of size 32 bits. 160-bit buffer is used to hold the intermediate and final results of the hash function. This buffer can be represented as 32-bit registers A, B, C, D and E. These registers are initialized to 32-bit integers. These are the fixed values initialized to these registers. A initialized with this value, B initialized with this value, C with this value, D with this value and E this and E this one. Each message block Xi is processed in 4 stages with 20 rounds each. Each message block Xi is processed in 80 rounds. 80 rounds divided into 4 stages. Message schedule, which takes 512-bit block and computes 32-bit words from W0 to W79 for each of the 80 rounds. The words here, call it as T. The words WT are derived from 512-bit message block by using this formula. Split 512-bit message block into 32-bit words. You will get 16 such words. This is x0, x1, x2 till x15. Copy the first 16 words from index 0 to 15 into WT. This xi values will be copied to WT. Let's see here. We divided ith block into 16 words. This 16 words copied to first 15 words W0 to W15. We need to derive remaining these 64 words from these 16 words. This will be done by using this formula. This will be used for word index from 16 to 79. W t minus 16 XORed with W t minus 14 XORed with W t minus 8 XORed with W t minus 3. To compute W16, this value, we need to find W16 minus 16, that will be this word, and W16 minus 2, that will be this word, W16 minus 8, it will be this, W16 minus 3, it will be this one. We need to XOR these 4 words. Here these two are XORed, and then this result will be XORed with W16 minus 8. This result will be again XORed with W16 minus 3. Final result is the W16. If you want to compute W17, you have to shift this function and this will be the W17. You have to continue like this to generate all these 80 words. After computing this value, you have to left rotate by 3 bits. 5 working registers A, B, C, D and E initially contains fixed values called it as H0, which will be replaced by new hash value after processing. These are the initial values. Here subscript represent round number, means here it is the initial value, so we are taking 0. For first round it will be H1. Here superscript 0 to 4 represent 0 represents A, 1 for B, 2 for C, 3 for D and 4 for E. Final hash value h of n equal to the output of hash of that message. The 4 stages have similar structure but use different internal functions f and constants k. Output after 80 rounds is added to the initial input value. That addition will be marked 2432 word-wise fashion. Let's see that in diagram. Here output of, this is the output of after 80 rounds. This output will be added with initial value of shift registers. That initial value of shift registers are A, B, C, D, E. They are first initialized with some constants. That constant value will be added word-wise fashion here. Here you have to consider this red line as 5 lines. This initial value of A will be added to output of this shift register A after 80 rounds. Like that it will repeat. Here this addition is marked 2 power 32 addition. In this stage 1 you have 20 rounds. Round 1, 1, 2 up to 20 rounds will be there within this first stage. Let's see how each round will work. The operation within round T is given here. That buffer register values A, B, C, D, E are calculated based on this formula. To understand this, let's see this diagram. To compute this register A value, we need to perform this many operations. The result of this will be A. See here, B value is directly taken from previous round value of register A. Let's take it as a round T. This will be T minus 1 round. This B for T round will be T minus 1 rounds A value. For C, previous round B value is left rotated 30 bits. For D, previous round C value is directly copied, and for E also previous round D value directly copied. Let's see value for A. This computation bit similar to Faisal network. Let's see Faisal network. In Faisal network, message divided into two halves, but here this is divided into 5 blocks. To compute right half of round I, we have to take left half of previous round, XOR that value with output of the round function f. This round function f take input right half and round key. Similarly, to compute this A value, take the B, C, D values and give them to round function. Let's call it as ft for round t. Add that result with value in register E. You will get some new value here. Add this value to the value of A that is left rotated 5 times. These two will be added. This result again will be added to WT. This WT we already computed, which will come from message schedule. We will get another result that will be added with KT value. It is some constant. The result of this operation will be the value for A. Copy this final value into register A. In Faisal network, here we used XOR operation. Here it is addition mod 2 for 32. The round function ft and kt will be changed for every 20 rounds. This wt will be different for each round. For first 20 rounds, means from index 0 to 19, this function will be used as round function. Next 20 rounds, this function will be used. For the third stage, this function will be used. For fourth stage, this round function will be used. Similarly, KT values are also different for each stage from 0 to 19. For first 20 rounds, this constant will be used. Next 20 rounds, this constant KT will be used. In stage 3, this constant will be used. For last 20 rounds, this constant used as a KT. Hash functions are useful to prove message integrity. Hash functions are auxiliary functions which used in digital signatures, message authentication codes, and key derivation and random number generation. Some applications of hash functions are used to verify downloaded file properly downloaded or not. We can verify that by pre-computed hash. Means suppose this is the file, we have to compute hash based on some hash algorithm. This hash will be stored at some place, maybe on website. Then if some downloader download this file, he has to check whether this file is modified or some errors occur within the network. He can check that by using hash functions. He will give this file, downloaded file, to same hash function specified here, and he will calculate the hash of this file. If this hash value equal to the pre-computed hash value, then this file can be accepted. If Suppose if one bit change here, it is printed as red color, and then if you give this file to hash function, hash code will be different. It will not match with this pre-computed hash. You will consider it as a different file. We already seen hash functions will be used in digital signature for generation of signature and verification. While storing passwords in database, we will not store passwords as plain text. We will encrypt that password with some hash algorithm like MD5. Store this hash in database. These hash functions can also be used for proof of work used in Bitcoin.